In this final video, we will look at how St. Boniface Hospital has positioned itself as a learning institution and has always been committed to training new doctors, nurses, and other medical specialists. It all began just 20 years after the creation of the hospital, when a nursing program was established. The very first student was Mrs. Lloyd in 1891, and the training was entrusted to Sister Parent in 1895. In 1897, the St. Boniface Hospital School of Nursing was created, and the first class was given on February 1st, 1898. The first 5 nurses would graduate a year later. 100 years after its creation, the school closed its doors and was transferred to the University of Manitoba. However, St. Boniface Hospital still hosts practicums. In the meantime, the nursing program evolved. In 1913, it was expanded to 3 years. The following year, the Grey Nuns and administrators from other hospitals discussed the creation of a standardized program for the entire province with the same provincial exam for all students. More than 30 years later, in 1945, the Manitoba Association of Registered Nurses approved the creation of a licensed practical nurse program. It was initially reserved for women before opening to men in 1962. While medical skills were at the heart of the training given to nurses, the importance of being able to serve patients in French was not forgotten, and this was true from the very first decades. In 1915, the first French course for French-Canadian nurses was offered. It brought together 6 students for a hygiene course given by Dr. Benoit. Regularly, the hospital reiterates its commitment to encouraging French language services. In the 1990s in particular, we offered active programs and training to staff in this regard. This desire to integrate French language into healthcare was also evident in the 2000s, when we partnered with Collège Universitaire Saint-Boniface to create a French-only nursing program. Since 2010, the University of St. Boniface offers a bachelor's degree in nursing. St. Boniface General Hospital has also provided medical training. It owes part of its reputation in general surgery to Dr. Alexander Hugh Ferguson. In the 1890s, this surgeon had a great impact on the hospital's learning and training capacity in this field. In 1893, he signed an agreement with the Manitoba Medical College to affiliate St. Boniface Hospital with the college. As a result, students and professors from this college could have free access to the hospital. A year later, he asked the province to build a medical teaching hospital. This resulted in a new 3-story wing with 3 real operating rooms, a dressing room, a sterilization room, and a pharmacy. In an effort to further strengthen the training of its healthcare personnel, St. Boniface Hospital became a university hospital in 1925 through its affiliation with the University of Manitoba. 2nd and 4th year medical students studied there. At the end of the 1920s, there were nearly 20 interns, including the first woman, Sarah Pearl. Over the years, other St. Boniface General Hospital figures have had a huge impact on the field of education. In the 1940s and 1950s, for example, Dr. McEwen, a major figure in St. Boniface and Winnipeg, left his mark. He was the medical director of the institution from 1939 to 1951. He was also chair of the Graduate Medical Education Committee of the University of Manitoba, where he taught. He gave his name to the McEwen Psychiatric Center. Also in the 1940s, the hospital made sure to develop medical training beyond medicine and nursing. 2 schools were created in 1942 and 1943, the X-ray Technical School and the Laboratory Techniques School. Initially reserved for women, this school opened its doors to men in 1950. Then, in the 1960s, courses in gynecology, pathology, urology, obstetrics, and general medicine were directly given at St. Boniface Hospital. This training capacity was facilitated by the support the hospital received from the community. In 1954, Sister Marie-Berthe Doré, then director of the hospital, created the volunteer association, Les Dames Auxiliaires, which included many wives of board members and physicians of the hospital. In 1957, this association began its first annual donation to the Professional Training Fund, which supports training for several medically related professions, such as nurses, physicians, radiology, and laboratory technicians, and others. Since the 2010s and 2020s, the St. Boniface Hospital Foundation has also helped fund professional certifications for nurses in multiple fields. The goal is to ensure that the hospital's nursing staff is always at the highest level possible. Fostering awareness and interest among younger people has also become a priority for the facility. In 2011, the construction of an educational biomedical science lab was launched. The Youth Biolab Jeunesse opened its doors to grade 5 to 12 students in 2013. Since its inception, more than 70,000 students from across Manitoba have visited the lab. On these ideas of training the future generations, mixed with a desire to be constantly top level, we conclude this series of videos. Please feel free to watch the other 4 episodes, which trace the history of St. Boniface Hospital since its inception 150 years ago. Thank you very much, and see you soon for more celebrations around this historic place, St. Boniface Hospital.